Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth of Beth's Bookish Reviews, and if this is not your first time, then welcome back. So this is my November wrap-up. Yeah, but you would have known that from the title. So I have my notebook here because I forget what I give books. And so anyway, so the first book that I finished in November was my very first Emily Henry, People We Meet on Vacation. This is the first book by Emily Henry that I've read, and it is about Poppy and Alex, and they're best friends, and they go on vacation together every summer, and it is a friends to lovers romance. And I gave this book 5 stars, and you'll be seeing this one again in another video later this month. This is the 1st of December, so again later this month. So I really like this book. I like the characters. I was sucked right in from the beginning. I like the build up, you know, where it would go from the present to the past, and learning, you know, as we built up and learned why they quit going on vacation together. And then we would see, you know, why this title was significant, in that the people that they met were helping them. The people they met on previous vacations played a significant part in the book, because I almost gave a spoiler. Anyway, so I gave this one 5 stars. I loved it. And then I bought Book Lovers because I loved this book so much. So that was my first one. Then my second book was, I had started reading this one and was more than halfway through it. So I just went ahead and finished it. It was Then She Was Gone. I was reading it on Audible. This book did get better toward the end, and so I ended up giving it 4 stars. I finished this on the 5th, and this is about Ellie Mack, and her daughter goes missing, and then she meets Floyd, and Floyd's daughter looks almost exactly like her daughter. And it takes Ellie a very long time to finally get back into getting her life back together. She loses her husband, her kids and her have very strained relationships. And when she finally starts getting her life back together, she meets Floyd, and Floyd introduces her to his daughter, who happens to be Poppy, and Poppy looks a lot like Ellie's daughter. I'm sorry, I had the names mixed up. Laurel is the main character. Ellie was her daughter. Okay. And Poppy looks a lot like Ellie. Okay. So Laurel is just barely getting her life back together when she meets Floyd. But she falls for him, and so they spend a lot of time together. So this was the second book I read. 4 stars. I like Lisa Jewell. She's a great writer. I like a lot of her books, and I will continue to auto buy her books. So, and she has a huge backlist, if I'm not sure that, and I have just recently got into her books, so she's got quite a few. Maybe not as big as I thought it was, but anyway, I'm trying to find a place to put these. Okay, it's my home. So the next one that I read was, get over to my page. Oh, this one was, the picture was way over here. The Death of Mrs. Westaway. I gave this 4 stars. I lean more towards 3.5 stars, because this is not my favorite Ruth Ware. I really liked it though. This is about a young girl named, I forget these names because what's her name? Hal. She receives a letter from an attorney, and that letter says that she has an inheritance from Mrs. Westaway, and so she decides to go, but she thinks her grandparents are already dead because that's what her mother told her. And so she decides that she's going to go anyway and say that she's this woman's granddaughter. And then it ensues from there. And so she meets these people and she develops these relationships with them. And I really like Ruth Ware's writing. But anyway, I don't want to give too much of it away because when I read a thriller, I don't like to know a whole lot about it. So it's really good. I read this for what readathon was I in? The Gilmore Girls readathon. Leaves on the cover. It was set in winter. And there was another one. Anyway, 4 stars. I would recommend it. I would recommend all of Ruth Ware's books. I like her writing. The next book I read, I know what it is. I know what I gave it. I know what it's about because it impacted me so much. Next book I read was Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. I loved this book so much. I can't believe it took me so long to read it. I watched Chloe, I believe her channel name now is Chloe Bunny. I watched her vlog for this and I watched her talk about it and how good she said it was. It's 5 stars for me. And I'm not saying that this book is anything like me and my sister, but I have a relationship with my sister and we were very close. There's 6 years between us. And this book hit me in the gut so hard when these sisters were together. My sister lives in, about 4 hours away from me. I was missing my sister so much. I would cry and not even realize why I was crying because the book would have nothing to do with anything about me and my sister. It was, and it would be like, what would I do if my sister, because this isn't a spoiler because we find out really early, got cancer, or what would she do if I got cancer, and it was just gut-wrenching. And I just loved this book so much. And so anyway, let me tell you what it's about. It's about Jane and June, and they are sisters, and there are 3 years between them. June is older, and she's in finance. Jane is self-obsessed. They call her the crybaby. She does not really have a very good place to live. Her sister has like this high financial job. She gets, she makes a lot of money, and so they're so different. The sisters are so different, and they used to be really close, and then some things happened, and there are some secrets, and they have to come to terms with those secrets. And when they find out, and just having to deal with that, and having to deal with themselves, and it's just, it's Mary H.K. Choi just writes it like you're there and you know these people and you're sitting right there with them having a cup of coffee, talking to them about, and you can almost have a conversation with each sister when they're talking to their, talking, having, like you can be sitting there when one of them's having thoughts about their sister, you know. So anyway, I loved this book. I would recommend this book. And you'll probably see this one again later on. So, okay, the next one was The Ex-Hex. Okay, and I feel like I did this book a disservice because I tried to listen to it and I speeded it up. I was just trying to get through some books, and I feel like I didn't connect with anybody in this book. I gave it 3 stars because I did enjoy it. I did have a good time, but I don't feel like I got what everybody else got out of this book. It's about Vivian and Reese, and they have a fling over the summer one year, and then he tells her he has to go back and break off a what's that called when you have a I can't think. He was an arranged marriage. He had to go take care of an arranged marriage. Like, he had to go break it off. And so she got mad at him and pretty much broke up with him. And so they hadn't seen each other in about 9 years. I think that's... yeah, 9 years. So he comes back to recharge the ley lines, and oh wait, she curses him, and so he comes back to recharge the ley lines, and everything messes up, and so they have to figure out a way to fix this curse. So I think if I were to have read it at a different point in time, I probably would have enjoyed this book. It's by Erin Sterling, but I was trying to get through A Court of Silver Flames, and it had already taken me about 8 days to read A Court of Silver Flames, and I was trying to just get some books finished. So I was just trying to get through some books. So, but I still think it was a good book, and I gave it 3 stars because I did enjoy it. Okay, that being said, the next day I finished my reread of A Court of Silver Flames for the Sarah J. Maas read-along. My reread was a 5-star. I did do some annotations, though you can't really see them. Well, I guess you can, but I didn't fill it up because as per my norm, I got more into reading and not annotating. But this is about Nesta and Cassian. So Nesta is Feyre's sister, and this is her story, and it's about her dealing with the issues that she has had since becoming Fae. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to give anything away, because I already gave that part away. And then the last one that I read in November, well, I started Spells for Forgetting and put it down, and I started Behind Her Eyes and didn't get it finished. But I read Voice of Fear, and this is about Jordan Wallace, who's an FBI agent. She was going undercover trying to break up this trying to human trafficking ring, and she gets taken, and then Patrick Law happens to be her backup that she didn't know anything about. He just happened to be there, and there's a reason. I don't want to give that part away. And then he's a criminal psychologist, and then they're partnered together to continue taking down this ring. And there's a little bit of a love story in there, and there's a dog in here that's really sweet, and it's got a little bit of supernatural in here, and just a really good read. I will be picking up another one of these. I only give it 3 stars, but I really liked it, and I want to give her another, read some more of her books, because this is a series, and I liked it a lot. Well, I liked it. So anyway, that's it. That was all I read this month. And if you stayed around for all of this video, that was 7 books. And as I said, I didn't get the other 2 finished. So I've already started on my December TBR, my reindeer readathon. But if you are still here and you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up down below. And if you like this video and you want to see more from me, please click that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.